They called ICE agents Nazis. They compared border enforcement to concentration camps. They painted targets on law enforcement backs for years. Now, FBI Director Kash Patel just dropped the smoking gun. The Dallas ICE shooter spent 48 hours studying footage of Charlie Kirk's assassination before launching his attack. This wasn't random violence. It was a copycat killing inspired by leftist rhetoric. When the mainstream media, Democrats, dehumanize federal agents, unstable individuals hear it as a call to arms. The blood trail leads straight back to Capitol Hill, and what you're about to see will prove the deadly consequences of political hate speech. So keep on watching. Now, the Dallas ICE shooter's attack proves that we need to be ready for anything. My Patriot Supply understands that when society breaks down, your family's survival depends on preparation. Their 3-month emergency food kit saves you $100 right now. Real meals providing over 2,000 calories daily for 90 days. We're talking hearty breakfasts, filling lunches, satisfying dinners, plus drinks and snacks. Everything's packed in military-grade buckets that last 25 years. Made in America with zero MSG or artificial junk. When violent radicals target law enforcement and chaos erupts, will you protect your family? Fast, free shipping, 30-day returns, disaster replacement guarantee. Your window to prepare is closing. Be the hero who saw it coming. Go to preparewithgary.com right now before it's too late. Now, just a short while ago, J.D. Vance weighed in on the political violence and the attacks that are happening. We're going to get to the FBI remarks in a second, but I did want to play this from the vice president just a few hours ago.
We do feel pretty confident this was a motivated left-wing political attack, and that, I think, goes to show that we have way too much of this in our country, especially in the last couple of weeks. And I'd encourage everybody to really tone down the rhetoric when it comes particularly to our law enforcement and our ICE agents. These are people who are enforcing the law as it's written by Congress and as instructed by the President of the United States. The fact that they've become such a target of online, social media, and even political harassment, I think, thank God most people don't intend to do them harm, but as we find out today, some people do intend to do them harm, and they'll act on it. So I think we all need to tone down the temperature a little bit. I think in particular, my Democratic colleagues need to ask some very hard questions about why it is that folks from their side of the political aisle seem to be engaged in these politically motivated attacks. And I think it's important for them to look in the mirror and say, wait a minute. Can we look in the mirror? Can we actually take some steps to police some of the violent rhetoric on our own side? Because unless they do, I fear stuff like that, this is going to keep on happening. We do feel
it is going to keep on happening because the left isn't going to stop. We have this FBI releasing new details on the suspected Dallas ICE shooter Joshua Wan. The perp downloaded a document titled Dallas County Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management, containing a list of DHS facilities. He conducted multiple searches of ballistics and the Charlie Kirk shot video between 9/23 and 9/24. Between 8/19 and 8/24, he searched apps that tracked the presence of ICE agents. On one of the handwritten notes recovered read, "Hopefully this will give ICE agents real terror to think, is there a sniper with AP rounds on that roof?" Further, accumulated evidence to this point indicates a high degree of pre-attack planning. Here is a mugshot of the alleged shooter, and this was actually when he was arrested for dealing drugs, apparently. The FBI Director Kash Patel revealed that the Dallas ICE suspect is a copycat criminal. As I just stated, he conducted multiple searches of ballistics and the Charlie Kirk shot video. Violence from the left is out of control. Now, here is the post from the FBI Director, Kash Patel. FBI Dallas and FBI HQ have been working 24/7 to seize devices, exploit data and process writings obtained on location and in the subject's person, residence, and bedroom. This FBI is committed to providing timely updates as promised. And here is the list of that I just read you. The FBI, he writes, will provide further updates when available. Now, Gunther Eagleman goes on to post here that MSNBC just read out Kash Patel's post about the Dallas ICE suspect. You can watch their souls leave their body as they realize how bad this looks on them. They know accountability is coming for their inciting rhetoric.
the director put out
this morning about that shooting at an ICE field office in Dallas. FBI Director Kash Patel just posted on X that investigators are learning new information about the suspect's internet history and what was downloaded on his devices. Let's get right to MSNBC national correspondent Rosa Flores and MSNBC investigative correspondent Mark Santia. What more are we learning, Mark, from the FBI director?
The director put out a lot. This has been a nonstop investigation. Basically, Kash Patel is saying the suspect downloaded a document titled, quote, Dallas County Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management that contained a list of DHS facilities. The suspect also conducted multiple searches, according to Patel, of ballistics and, quote, Charlie Kirk shot video between September 23rd, September 24th. Back in August, the suspect searched apps that tracked the presence of ICE agents, and one of the handwritten notes recovered in the investigation said, quote, hopefully this will give ICE agents real terror to think, is there a sniper with AP rounds on that roof? Patel also said they have evidence to this point that indicates a high degree of pre-attack planning. They believe the suspect spent much time trying to figure this out. And they're still, we talked to officials this morning, the investigation on it continues at this point.
And there's new information about the shooting itself, right?
Absolutely. ICE officials said that when the barrage of bullets opened up in that Sally Port, that ICE officials, ICE officers, they were able to grab detainees. There were 8 to 10 inside the van. They were able to pull some to safety. Obviously, 3 people were shot. 1 passed away. But that is some of the new information we're learning today. So, again, this investigation is really evolving today.
And, Rosa, the shooter's brother is speaking out. What's he saying?
You know, he's giving us a...
What's interesting here is that the initial reports that came out, they were like, oh, there was no motive. We can't figure it out. Very much like when Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And they're saying he was targeting detainees because he was, anti-immigration, right? No, he was anti-ICE. And what they're about to say is what the brother has spoken, saying that he was a horrible shot. I'm assuming that's what they're going to say. He was a horrible shot, and he was just shooting indiscriminately into the van.
Sense of his brother, how he grew up. He said that they grew up about 30 miles from Dallas in Allen, Texas, that he was a Boy Scout, and he described him as, quote, unique. And he said that he wasn't very interested in politics, either the right side or the left, or in any which way, really, which is interesting considering the details that the FBI has already released regarding this case. They also said, the brother also said that he was not interested in ICE, didn't have strong feelings against ICE. Again, kind of odd, Anna. And he said that even though his brother was not a marksman, that he did know how to use the rifle that their parents had. Unclear if that's the weapon that was used in this case. And he said that the last time that he saw his brother was 2 weeks ago and that nothing seemed odd. And one other thing to point out is that according to public records, he was a registered independent in Oklahoma and that he voted in November.
And what do we know now about the victims, the 3 people who were shot?
Well,
we're still pushing for that information, asking for the names, but the names have not been released. The one detail that I was able to gather is from Mexico's foreign ministry, actually. The foreign ministry saying
this morning about that shooting at an ICE field office.
So obviously they glossed over, oh, he wasn't a good marksman. Yeah. Well, here is Tom Homan just a couple hours ago on Fox News talking about the Rhetoric.
Seen it this bad. I've seen this movie before. I've been doing this here since 1984. I got over 4 decades doing this job, and I've seen this movie before. I've never seen it this bad, but the Rhetoric is what's causing all this hate, and it convinces that small percentage on the left that hate ICE to take action. When they have a congressman or someone that ran for vice president of the United States comparing ICE to Nazis, that gives some of these nuts and emboldens them to take action. And there's been 3 shootings in Texas alone. There was a gunman that showed up at a Border Patrol facility and started shooting at them. He picked the wrong facility. He picked a SWAT facility, and those officers end up taking his life. Then there's a shooting just south of Dallas where they attacked an ICE facility, and 1 officer was shot in the neck. Then this latest incident. This is based on hate that's being fueled by the media and members of Congress and governors and mayors. You played on your show. We got to stop. ICE agents are enforcing the law Congress enacted. If you don't like what ICE is doing, then go tell Congress, because they wrote the laws that ICE is obligated and took an oath to enforce. They're making this country safe again. Every day they take a public safety threat or a national security threat off the street, it makes that community safer. All these politicians and mayors and governors should be calling President Trump and thanking them for making their community safe again. I've seen this movie before.
The violent rhetoric continuing to amplify. Now, remember when we reported on this initially, there was a strange message that was found on his car. Anti-ICE gunman Joshua John had a bizarre map stuck to outside of his car showing radioactive fallout across the United States. I don't even understand why that would be there. Bizarre map stuck outside showing fallout. Investigators in Dallas have discovered what they believe to be the anti-ICE shooter. His vehicle, which had a map depicting radioactive fallout in the U.S. affixed to the right rear quarter panel of his vehicle. Text above the tattered printout map stuck to the gunman's blue Toyota Corolla read, "Radioactive fallout from nuclear detonation have passed over these areas more than twice since 1951. This is the New York Post. Here's a picture of the vehicle, and you can see the bizarre message left on the outside. And continuing here, the image appears to be a map created by researcher Richard Miller, which shows areas of the U.S. over which 2 or more radioactive clouds have crossed, resulting from nuclear testing in Nevada between 1962. He opened fire on a van carrying detainees awaiting processing on Wednesday from the rooftop overlooking the Dallas ICE office, killing at least 2 migrants and wounding another before taking his own life. Bullet casings found near his body were scrawled with the words anti-ICE. 2 people shot dead, at least another injured at an immigration and customs office in Dallas early Wednesday morning. So it's still unclear what that message he was trying to convey actually meant. This is a visual of what that map looked like. And of course, this is, you can see the picture there on the screen. Tim Kass reveals that his security team, this is related to Charlie Kirk. Tim Kass reveals his security team, Charlie Kirk's security team, advised him, Tim Kass reveals that his security team advised him not to go to Charlie Kirk's memorial due to threats on his life, saying the threat level is so great, my team instructed me not to travel.
Has changed. Sinclair, I've never received more death threats. I've also got very serious security where we do our show. The threat level was so great, my team instructed me not to travel. I was unable to go to the memorial for Charlie Kirk. But, Jesse, earlier just now you were mentioning the attacks that we've seen throughout the past weeks and months, but I want to make sure this is clear as it pertains to Jimmy Kimmel. The initial reporting was that advertisers and affiliates were upset. Sinclair said they wanted to bring the temperature down. None of that has changed. Sinclair and Nexstar are still saying they will preempt his show. As far as we know, advertisers are still upset. So what made the difference that brought his show back? Well, this is a little bit of speculation, but there was a terror attack on an ABC affiliate in Sacramento by what is reported to be a Democrat who opened fire on the building. And it's been reported by the New York Post that Sinclair pulled their Charlie Kirk memorial because of terroristic threats against ABC affiliates. So I agree with you. It's open season on people who are standing up, speaking out, or supporting Trump. But the left is also attacking regular people to force their will. And I think it's because they recognized Donald Trump won the popular vote. Normal people have spoken, and they're not tolerating their strange policies that are destroying this country anymore.
Open season on anyone who supports President Trump. Absolute disgrace. Here is Ben Ferguson cooking on CNN, calling out Democrats. The left is shooting people, and they're being inspired.
Say that. This is extremely disturbing that there's another one of these types of shootings. I think we've got to deal with this as a country, first of all. But I also, just for starters, I'm curious, how does it help to have the vice president say that?
Because the third one in Texas. I mean, if you know people that work in law enforcement, my family does. I know ICE agents in Texas. This is the third attack we've seen in Texas, in the same district as the man in charge today was saying. Like, this is the second time he's had to have a press conference today.
Who was killed today? Who was killed today?
So you're saying since it
That's
wasn't...
not what I'm at. No.
So you're saying since it wasn't... It was innocent people that were killed today.
Don't put words in my mouth.
You asked a question. I'm answering your question. You're saying since it wasn't ICE agents that were killed, therefore this is a null and void conversation?
No. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Are you kidding me?
That's gaslighting. I'm asking you a simple question because when J.D. Vance went up there, and when you're coming up here...
This is not a good argument from you.
First of all,
innocent people got shot today, and you're like, well, it wasn't ICE agents that got shot.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the division that you all are sowing in this country...
I'm not sowing anything. I'm saying protect all law enforcement.
Because of the simple fact, yes, protect
Gavin Newsom went on TV last night. Did you see what he said? He said, ICE agents are authoritarian. You don't think that can inspire someone to do that?
ICE agents should be able to come home every single night. And so don't put words in my mouth. I am acting like it. First. And second, the fact that you and J.D. Vance and every other Republican can go on here and talk about...
We're not shooting people. We're not shooting people. The left is shooting people, and they're being inspired by that.
That is the low.
I'm sorry. I have a friend that got shot and assassinated 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I'm a little bit hot on this one because you guys have been irresponsible with the rhetoric that is coming out from people on the left. Gavin Newsom went on TV last night. Hold on. Gavin Newsom went on TV last night and disparaged ICE agents, attacked ICE agents, said they're authoritarian.
But before you even get to the
evidence, what is the evidence? Watch what he said last night on late night television.
I'm not talking about that, Ben, because you come on here and you gaslight and you.
I'm not gaslighting. I don't want innocent people to die.
Let me finish my sentence, please. You come on here and you gaslight and you put words in my mouth. And that's not what I said.
You interrupted me and said
can you just let him Ben, in the interest of this is
it blows my mind that the left can actually defend these positions. It makes no sense. Let's flash back. Hakeem Jeffries claims ICE is going after law-abiding immigrant families and deporting American citizens. Two blatant lies.
We need...
Now, some Democrats, amid the criticisms of ICE right now due to these ICE raids, have started calling for defunding ICE. Do you think that's effective going into the midterms, and do you support those calls?
Well, I definitely think that we need aggressive oversight as it relates to the overly aggressive behavior that we've seen, from ICE, from the Department of Homeland Security. It's not what the American people actually, in my view, voted for.
Yeah.
Donald Trump and Republicans promised to go after violent felons, but instead they're going after law-abiding immigrant families, and in fact, in some cases, deporting American citizens and children, some with cancer.
Now, some Democrats amid the
some with cancer. He's referring to when ICE went in and deported two illegal parents, and they had children that were born in the United States, and they were given a choice that they could take the children with them, and that's what they did. Okay? It was the parents' decision. Again, lies after lies after lies, which is leading to moments like we just saw. Gunmen opening fire on ICE agents, assassinating Charlie Kirk. This has got to stop. This has got to end. They have to own this. They have to plead with their base. But I don't think they're going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So this is why words matter. When Hakeem Jeffries lies about ICE deporting American citizens, when Democrats compare border agents to Nazis, they're not just playing politics, they're painting bullseyes on backs. The Dallas shooter didn't wake up one day and decide to kill. He studied the Charlie Kirk assassination for 2 days straight and then went hunting. Tom Homan nailed it. The rhetoric emboldens these nuts to take action. Even Tim Pool can't attend memorial services because the death threats are too real. So here's my question. Should Democrat leaders be held criminally liable when their speech inspires violence? Drop a yes or no in the comments. This isn't about free speech. It's about incitement to murder. And while you're here, grab some Next News gear from our shop and show where you stand in this fight for truth.